Oh, so now a few days ago, we actually got some very exciting news, and this news right here, we've been waiting for a long time. Me personally, I really wanted, something like this to actually come true, and it's a Walking Dead game based off the show, and also it's a what if scenario, and I've been thinking about this idea for quite a while now, and they actually did it, so that's really exciting. So today I'll be talking about the Walking Dead Destinies, and just my own ideas on how they could approach this game, and how they could change up the story of the show. So stay tuned. And now, before we actually get into the video, I'd like to ask you all to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys so much for the growth. I really appreciate it. And we have a goal in mind for 5,000 subscribers. So if you guys want to be part of this journey to 5,000 subscribers, please like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the video. Thank you. And now first, let me get into the main concept of this game, because for those who don't know what this game is even about, it's basically like a what if scenario game, right? You basically get choices. It's kind of like the Telltale games where you could choose your own options, right? You get two options and then you choose which one to go with, and then it changes the story from there on. And they actually did show this in the trailer for The Walking Dead Destinies, where it does show that in season 2 at the farm, when Rick is about to kill Shane, you have two options to either go with the Rick scenario where he actually does kill Shane, which is like in the show, or you could go with Shane and you could kill Rick and then Shane takes over from there. And I believe that this is a very great concept, and this is what they should have done with Tales of the Walking Dead, but I'm just really happy that they did this. But the only thing that kind of disappointed me about this game is the graphics. And again, this is made by a company named Game Mill, and my brother, he actually did tell me a lot about this company, where their quality isn't all that good when it comes to graphics, but their gameplay is really good. And you see in this trailer, it does seem like that the combat is good, right? And the walkers, you see the characters killing the walkers, and the playable characters that are in this game are actually quite a bit. So I'm really excited for that. And to be honest, I don't really care all that much about the graphics. I just care about the story and the gameplay, if they do that well. And also, the thing that's a little disappointing is that it's only up until season 4. And this makes sense, right? Because this game doesn't look like it has much budget behind it. And this is kind of like them testing the waters, right? They're just this is just a test for them, if they could make a sequel that's from season 4 all the way up to season 8, because this game is from season 1 to season 4. So again, you get to play as Shane. If you go with the Shane scenario, of course, you get to play as Shane in the prison, and you can finally see how he actually deals with the governor. And now when it actually comes to the governor, that is where it actually gets very interesting, because in the character descriptions, the biography for these characters for this game, it actually does state that the governor could be a good ally. It says something along those lines, and also the governor is a playable character as well. So it does seem like that you could probably convince the governor to actually join your side. And this is actually an idea I had for a video, right? I want to make a video, like a what if video, that if the governor actually listened to Rick at the end and he actually ended up joining up with them, or earlier on he joins up with them, and it does seem like that you could do that in this game. And this is very exciting, because let's just say if the governor actually went with the group to Terminus, right? Or if they actually stayed in the prison, because of course the governor is the one that trashed the prison and it was not livable anymore. But if there was some sort of scenario where the governor does turn good at the end, and then one of his one of his right hand men, right, probably Martinez or something, they actually come and they're the ones to destroy the prison, and then they are forced to run off, and then they make it to Terminus, which it would be really, really cool to see that. And now I want to talk about the playable characters that are in this game, and it's pretty stacked, not going to lie. And the playable characters in this game are Rick, Shane, Merle, Daryl, Glenn, Carl, Lori, Carol, Michonne, Governor, and T-Dog. And these are the characters that we know about so far. They could be adding more, maybe Dale, maybe Herschel, right? But so far, this cast looks pretty stacked, and I'm really excited that we get to play all these characters, and not only Rick and Shane, we get to play as all of these other characters, especially Governor and Merle, right? Because these two characters are kind of like antagonists. Also Shane as well. Just seeing these three characters interact would just be insanely cool to see, right? And also I have read in Merle's character description that what if he wasn't left on that rooftop? So we could get an option as Rick, to actually not handcuff Merle and to bring him back. And also it does say in Daryl's biography that it does say that would his character change if Merle actually made it back safe. But one character I'm really surprised that actually did not make it into this game by now is Morgan. And Morgan's story is really integral for The Walking Dead, right? I mean, he's the first person that actually saved Rick. So I'm really surprised that you don't get to play as Morgan in that in season 1 and also in season 3, right, when Rick actually does go back and he finds Morgan. And hopefully you do get an option that if Morgan actually does come back with you to the prison and he becomes a playable character. But so far in these character descriptions and just the roster itself, it doesn't look like that Morgan is playable. Maybe they might make a Morgan expansion. They might make a DLC, you get to play as the events of season 1 to 4 as Morgan, right? You get to start off where Morgan actually saves Rick, and also when Rick actually leaves, and you get to see Dwayne die and all of that. And also you get to go on his journey with the cheesemaker. You get to play the whole stick tutorial. They could make a stick tutorial part where you actually learn Morgan's staff with the cheesemaker, and then you go out to actually look for the group. And that expansion could be that Morgan coming across Terminus and him coming across the prison. But so far this game is season 1 to 4, so most likely this game will end where the group actually does get captured by the people at Terminus. And now the thing that actually excites me the most about this game is definitely the different scenarios, right? And just having a Walking Dead game based off the show, and it's just it being entirely on a what if scenario, is insane, right? And again, you could play the game as as the show is, right? You could just go with the show's story and just play through the events of the show, or you could spice it up a bit and you could actually choose your own scenarios. And we've always wondered, what if Shane survived, and what if the governor turned good, and if he survived, what if Merle was let off that rooftop, and etc., right? Because it's just really exciting seeing that. And I wish that the original voice actors, right, the actors actually did come in and they recorded lines for this game. But it's kind of obvious that it's not the same actors, right? It's just different people voicing the characters. Again, that might mess with the immersion of this game, but again, I don't mind it, right? I just want a good story and good gameplay, and it looks like that they might deliver upon that. And now I kind of wish that this game was at least up until season 8, right? At least until the end of All Out War. And that's because I wanted Negan to be playable, and especially in the lineup of season 7 and season 6, I wish that you could actually choose who to kill. And that is probably the biggest potential that a game like this would have, right? If they actually incorporated the lineup, if they actually made it all the way up till season 7 or season 8, and then as Negan you could choose who to kill in that lineup, and how would that change the story, right? I mean, if you get to choose Abraham and then Daryl punches you, and then you could choose who you want to kill instead of it just going for Glenn, right? You could kill Aaron, and then you could see how Glenn and how Glenn would be in All Out War. Or if you don't choose Abraham, if you choose somebody else, and then how would Abraham be throughout the events of All Out War. And again, if they made this game a whole bundle up until season 8, maybe season 10, or even season 11, it would have been cool to see if Governor actually turned into an ally, and if he actually interacted with Negan, and if he was in the lineup, and if he became pretty close to Rick, and he became a trusted member of that group. It would have just been really cool. And I wish that again, this was up until season 8, season 9, because again, if you chose Shane surviving, how would Shane go up against Negan? How would he react to Negan's whole situation, and how would he deal with Negan? I just really want to see that, and I hope that they do some sort of expansion or DLC that adds more seasons, or they make a sequel for this game. And now when it comes to the release date of this game, a lot of people are thinking that this game is years off, right? And we have to wait a long time, but that is definitely not the case, because if you go on the official website of The Walking Dead Destinies, it's confirmed that it's coming out fall this year. And again, I'm not surprised because to be honest, the graphics aren't all that great and it looks like an indie game, right? It's very low budget. Again, this game has really good potential to be a great game, right? Especially when it comes to story and when it comes to combat, but it's coming out this fall, and I believe it might come out in October or maybe even November of this year. And I hope that this game does get good reviews, and to be honest, I really don't see it getting good reviews, right? Because in today's time, right, people look at graphics more, right? And again, the graphics aren't the best, and I hope that what they showed in the trailer was like beta footage, or some sort of footage from like a year or two ago, and they actually retouched the game, and it's a surprise for us, and it actually looks better than it does. But so far, it looks like that this game does not look the best, right? The character models don't look the best, especially Carol and Merle, right? And those two look just insanely different from what they actually do. And again, I just hope that this game is good, because if this game does good, if it at least gets like a good 7 out of 10, then it actually drives the developers to make a sequel and put more budget behind it and to make the game even look better. And now I know it's really early to talk about a sequel for this game, but if they do make a sequel, I hope that they actually make it from season 4 all the way up to season 8, maybe even season 9 or 10, and then you could actually choose if you want to play as Shane or if you want to play as Rick, depending on where you left off in the previous game. Or if they make DLC for this game and they add more seasons, right? And if they support this game, I hope that you get some option that which story did you choose? Did you choose Shane's story, or did you choose Rick's story, or if the game will just read that off the bat? And now that's it for today's video. I'd like to ask you all to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys so much for the growth. And also, in celebration of this game, I wanted to do something special for this channel. And I wanted to do a playthrough when this game actually comes out. So, just let me know if you guys want, a gaming channel, or just if you guys want me to, do a playthrough on this game, me playing this game, and, going through either Rick's story or Shane's story. Just comment down if you guys want something like that. And also, I've been thinking about this idea for a long time. This was actually one of my ideas for my very first video on this channel, and that was to make a what if video for The Walking Dead. So again, comment down if you guys want to see content like that for me, what if scenarios, like what if Shane survived, what if the governor survived, and just like these crazy ideas. So again, comment down if you guys want to see something like that. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching.